Building. Start now.
Hey everyone, I would like to introduce you our family worker, our trusted worker, a team, a Nunez family team, my brother. Hey brother. Brother Marlo, our lead captain. And my brother Don Don. Hey Don Don, say hi.
Hello.
And their supervisor.
Yeah, supervisor. Yeah, really.
Where's the other one?
Papa, he's not here. He's over.
He's killing the duck.
Oh, he's cleaning the duck. Okay, well, he's working.
No, he's not cleaning the duck. He's killing the duck. Joke, guys. Yeah. So, ito yung mga team natin ngayon. So, they're trying to finish all of this wall today, hopefully. It will be finished.
These videos you can do pretty detailed. Cut that piece into smaller pieces. Yeah, because you can do the bottom and the top out of partial sheet.
Come here. Where's your slipper? Where's your slipper? Come. Come, mommy, come on. Oy. Come, mommy. Oh. What did you do?
Put that under there. I figured up our times last night. It'll take us 38 days to raise the wall, the ceiling, and do this. This system that we're doing is a system that I brought with me from Belize. That's from America. That I refined and redone. But this is the first time my brother-in-law has had the chance and opportunity to experience doing it. They've seen this system, the EPS, there's a manufactured one that has the wire and everything on it. I'm not real fond of it. It's really hard to work with to me, and it's not as effective and efficient to use. However, this is kind of my redesigning their system with local available materials. There is a house down here that was done, and we got a chance to go see it done. Turned out really nice, but I think this system is a lot easier to use this way that I redesigned. But this is their first time getting to use it this way, and it goes fast. We figured out that we had 38 days from the time we would raise the floor, the roof, or from the floor. The floor would have been finished, but we'd had 38 days raising the walls, the roof, all the insulation going in, and rendering the outside. And my brother-in-law say that they can't do that with hollow blocks that fast. So I know it's labor saving. The nice thing about it, instead of grinding the walls to cut and put electrical wiring in, we use an electric hot knife, and it just goes so much easier. Well, we thought we would take a moment and just give a little bit of technical discussion about the system we're using. About 10 years ago, I discovered a white paper from a couple gentlemen in Berkeley, California, at the University of Berkeley, that talked about different designs and using native material. They traveled all over Central America, Philippines, Asia, Malaysia, discussing different things. And here in the tropics, we use a lot of thatch roof and bamboo, natural things, but it also is much cooler than normal construction with concrete and tin or colored roofing, as they call metal roofing here. So there is also a system, a commercial system out, EPS system. It's a styro that has wire on both sides. The wire goes through and the mesh is welded on both sides. And that system is available here. It wasn't when I first started here, but it is available now. Cost comparison, it's what we're doing is about the same price. The thing that I like better about the way I took the system that I was used to in Belize, Central America, had the same system there, but looked and found local suppliers of materials that could be used the same way. So the wire mesh is used widely here, for everything in concrete to creating cage walls and things like that. Of course, we have rebar or deformed bar, as they call it here, readily available. And then the styro is available because they use it to make fishing ice chests and other things that they build styro here. So, or styrofoam, closed cell styrofoam. And so all the materials are readily available. We just have to combine it into the same product. The thing I like about this better than I do with the manufactured styrofoam with the wire in it is everywhere you cut out something, that piece you have to cut through both sets of wires, and the wires inside if you hit them. And it's hard to take that piece anywhere else and use that piece where the window was at or where a door was at, because it's not a standardized size. But with the styrofoam and doing this way, where we, as you see in our videos, where we weld the rebar on and then put the wire mesh and go in and put the styrofoam in and then rebar and wire mesh, we are able to utilize our materials much better. We can cut and fit as we go, and any smaller scrap pieces, it's not all scrap styrofoam and all scrap steel. So our cost is less. It's actually, we don't have so much loss. As we go along, you'll see once we start rendering, like we said, there is the rebar has two purposes. It helps give rigidity into the wall and strength, as well as holds the wire mesh about a quarter inch or 4 millimeter away from the styro, allowing the rendering, or the stucco as we call it back in the States, to go around the wire and encase the wiring. And that makes it much, much stronger when you get the cement in behind the wiring. So in our process of doing this, we had to search and find local vendors, that mainly with the styrofoam. The wire mesh and the rebar we got from our local hardware Madrasa here in San Antonio, Bagak. And they've been a supplier for almost all of our home materials. The styro came out of Manila. I was able to find that through another friend who had used it in their resort up north of Subic. And so we contacted the what they call a broker here, or distributor, yeah, and placed the order with them, and then he arranged for shipping and delivery right here to us. So we will post that information later, or you can always request. We can send you that if you're interested in the styrofoam. It is also, when I was doing the research, I found several vendors. This is cut to order, the thickness that you want. So I found several vendors, but no one that I knew and had a personal relationship. So it was kind of hard to say, okay, this is what I want, and be assured you was going to get what you want. But through this vendor that we found through our friend, I found vendors in Cebu. Cebu has a styrofoam company there.
But it's far from us.
Yeah, but they're far from us, and so shipping would have been unreasonable. So, and you can order from China, and but once again, by the time you pay the shipping and the brokerage fee to get it into the country, it's just as cheap to use our local vendor here. So that's how we come up with the process. It's been hard for some people to understand, but building this wall design with the 2 mesh wires, the rebar that's in it, will withstand gale wind forces of 150 knots and on wind. The walls are designed and engineered to withstand 150 knots direct line winds. So we're well above normal construction there. There also will take a direct impact without separating because of the way the wire meshes are on both sides. It's almost impossible to put an object clear through because the first set of wire mesh will reduce the energy by 80%, so it's hard to get it the rest of the way through. Now a hollow block, if a tree branch or something like that's flying, it can penetrate both all the way through. So it has a lot of value to it. The biggest thing for us is what we were looking at is the cost savings, both in labor and energy. So right now we are running about 15% less on construction costs as you would in a normal hollow block. And that is a savings through labor. Materials are almost the same, but the labor is where we're saving.
And we can also save when we started this, when this one was going to be finished, then, the electrical cost, because it's not really hot inside. It's insulated.
Right. That's the other cost saving. That's your long-term cost saving. Because the outside, we wanted to stick with normal construction here, what we call local construction, and I like the rendering or what we call stucco back in the States because it's native to the countryside. It's very durable. It has a long wear. It's very impervious to like termites, things like that. So keeping with that, the thermal barrier of the styrofoam allows us to have the long-term cost savings on electricity by running it for air conditioning. Actually, with proper ventilation, and that goes back to the white paper that I studied from the boys from Berkeley, is there's several things. And if you notice in the pictures of the house, and we'll do a walkthrough, of course, one of these days, one of the things they talked about is ventilation and high ceilings. We have almost 10-foot high ceilings, 9'6". And the reason for that is hot air rises, cold air stays down low. So when you use an air conditioning, it comes down low. We'll use some ventilation fans to be able to exit there. But another thing they talked about is window placement. All the way up as high as you can to the ceiling and down as close as you can possibly go to the floor. That allows you to open a window in the top and have the breeze come through, and that creates what they call a stovepipe effect or a thermal effect, and the heat blows out. So there was some areas there that we incorporated. The other thing is how and placements of your bedrooms and your kitchen. Bedrooms put on the east side for the morning sunrise. It'll wake you up, but in the afternoon, which is the hottest part of the day, the sun's not beating on your bedrooms, which that's where you go to first in the evening when you want cooler. The other side is that they talked about, once again with the ventilation, is placing the kitchen on the downward side of the general normal of the wind, meaning the wind blows through the house and pushes the heat out of the kitchen instead of the kitchen being on the other end, pushing the heat when you're cooking through all of the house.